Our today's topic is purchase ledger control account. Often you see this question on your exam paper, but many of you struggle to answer this question. So today we will learn how to prepare a purchase ledger control account. This is actually creditor ledger control account. Okay, if we see by making any transaction, the creditor or trade payables are increasing, we will record on the credit side. Okay, if our trade payables decrease, in this case we will record the transactions on the debit side. Okay, so what things are often you see, what are the items actually you include in the control account? There are some specific items to record on the purchase ledger control account. Okay, so here this is the format you see: date, detail and dollar column on the debit side and same columns on the credit side. Okay, so these are our credit items. What items? Number one, we record balance BD, means opening balance. Okay, if you see opening balance on the question, you will record on the credit side. But remember, there are two types of balance on the control account. Okay, sometimes there will be debit balance, sometimes there will be credit balance. Sometimes you will get debit and credit balance both on the question. These are actually opening balance. Okay, so if you have two balances, obviously will be mentioned whether it is a debit balance or credit balance. If you see the opening balance is a debit balance, you will record on the debit side here. If it is a credit balance, you will record on the credit side. Okay, so first of all you have to record balance BD, remember. Okay, very good. So then number two here, purchases. Okay, if you see purchase on the question, you will record on the credit side because purchase increase the liability. Okay, creditor is a liability for the business, so if you purchase more, creditor will be increased more. Okay, so here the interest charge. Okay, if there is any interest overdue, it will be recorded on the credit side of purchase ledger control account. Okay, then refund, if there is any refund in the question, you will record on the credit side as a refund. Okay, so this might be cash or bank. If it is refunded in cash, then you need to write cash. If it is by bank or check or bank transfer, you will write bank here. Okay, then last item is balance CD. Sometimes on the question you may see balance CD, closing balance. Okay, so if balance CD is a credit balance, you will write on the credit side. Okay, sometimes you will see two balance CDs. Okay, two closing balances. Same thing like opening balances, it will be specified which one is credit balance and which one is debit balance. So credit balance will be recorded here on the credit side. Okay, if balance CDs are not given, obviously the closing balance, you need to balance the ledger, the closing balance will be here. Okay, on the credit side. So it depends, it may come on the debit side as well. Okay, so here the debit item, the first item is balance BD, means opening balance. Okay, so if you see opening balance mentioned it is a debit balance, then you need to write on the debit side. Okay, then cash or bank. Okay, business pays to the supplier in cash or by check. In this case you need to write here cash or bank. Okay, then discount receipt, is there any discount receipt in the question? You need to write here on the debit side. Okay, then purchases returns. Okay, there might be a purchase return, in this case you need to write on the debit side. Okay, these items decrease the liability. Okay, decrease trade payables or creditor. Okay, then here set off or contra. Okay, sometimes we call it set off, sometimes we call contra. Okay, sometimes there will be some transaction which is linked up with purchase ledger control account and sales ledger control account. Okay, but remember, contra entry appears on the debit side of purchase ledger control account and on the credit side of sales ledger control account. Okay, good. Then we have our last item here, it is balance CD. So same, if you have balance CD on the question, means closing balance, then you will write on the debit side, will be mentioned clearly it is a debit balance or credit balance. Okay, If it is not given on the question, then you need to balance it. You need to figure out the closing balance. Okay, the closing balance will be balance CD, balance carry down. So same, it depends, it may come on debit side or credit side. Okay, so for your better understanding, today we will solve a question which is taken from 2022.